But this last one I'm going to talk about is really the biggest. We're going to talk about empowerment. All right, guys, here's the deal. I'm about to go on a bit of a rant. I'm praying my voice holds out. We're just going to cross our fingers because this is an important one. Powerlessness in organizations is a huge, huge problem. Most of the people in this room, I'm going to bet, have a certain degree of powerlessness every single day in their jobs. And if you have it, a lot of your coworkers do too. And look, we have been primed for this. We've been primed for this all our lives. From the time we're little kids, we're taught we need to follow the rules and stay in line and what to wear and what to think and what to say, and don't have any original ideas. And we can get into a conversation about the quality of the educational system for sure. But look, this is what it is. This is the reality. We are told to follow the rules all day long. And all of a sudden, we go through 12, 16, in my case, 25 years of education, and all of a sudden we graduate. And we get our degree, and we move out of our parents' house. And we start trying to grasp at individuality when we're that eager young professional. And even then, the organizations that we work for, most of the time, they beat it out of us right quick. And it could be a very traditional organization where you're wearing like suits, or it could be a startup where you're wearing skinny jeans and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter because most organizations are not looking for original voices. They're looking for people to come in and take orders. And so we do that. Young professionals do that. They come in, they take orders, they think, I'm paying my dues. And then when I get promoted to a manager, man, I'm going to be able to make decisions then. I'm going to be able to make calls. Can managers actually make decisions? No. I've been a manager in 2 different organizations. I wasn't actually managing anything in either of those jobs, right? I wasn't managing people. I wasn't managing projects. I don't know what the heck I was managing. But they gave me the title because they wanted to be able to give me a promotion. They wanted to be able to give me a raise. But title no longer means that you have decision-making power. And then they get promoted to that, and you think, oh, well, if I can just get to that director level, I'm going to be able to make decisions then. Is that true? No. I've been a director in 4 different organizations. In none of those organizations was I in control of my own budget. It was like I had a budget, but I couldn't actually make decisions about it. My boss can make decisions about my budget, but I couldn't. In none of those organizations could I make decisions about my own staff. Besides the summer intern, I could pick out the summer intern, right? That was the big one. In none of those organizations could I buy a $200 piece of office furniture without going through 19 rounds of approval. I had my own budget. Like, that was crazy. But let me tell you about the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Let me tell you about the granola bar. The granola bar incident of 2015. So I was at a conference. I was at a conference a lot like this one. I was in an organization. I was a director with my own budget and everything. And I don't eat a lot of meat typically, and I definitely don't eat meat at like conferences. And it's just a bad idea, guys, really. And so I went to breakfast one morning, and the only thing they were serving were these breakfast sandwiches that had like ham and eggs in them. And I'm like, I'm not eating this. And I went to the hotel coffee shop, and I bought a granola bar. I bought a $2 granola bar at the hotel coffee shop. I was like, this is fine, whatever. Didn't think anything of it. Went back to the office, did my expense report. A week later, I got it back with a sternly worded note that I was not allowed to buy the $2 granola bar. And I was like, you know, it's not about the $2. Look, I pay $7 for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It is not about the $2 granola bar. It's about if you're going to ding me on this one, if you're not going to allow me to make decisions about what I put in my body, when I have a T&E budget for a $2 granola bar, are you kidding me? Am I going to be able to make any decisions in this job ever? Ever? No. And so, look, I'm looking at this situation, and I'm like, you know, and I know policy and procedure have to be followed, right? If I buy a granola bar, everyone's going to buy a granola bar. It's going to be anarchy. It's going to cost the organization $100 extra a year. I mean, my God. And you know the thing that really got me is I know for a fact that there was a meeting with at least 2 vice presidents and 2 other directors to discuss my $2 granola bar. How much money did that cost? right? And my point here is this. This is the day-to-day experience. This is the thing that I remember about this organization. It's this little stuff that happens every day that kills your employee engagement. It's the little things, it's not the big things, right? This is the day-to-day. And we've started to reserve this type of empowerment over the most basic little things for those at the vice president level. That's crazy. People do not engage with things that they do not have control over. They don't. There's no emotional connection to be made. And you're saying, well, we're paying them to do a job. We're paying them to come in and do what we tell them to do. Well, that's the bare minimum. You're giving them a paycheck. Great, congratulations. You're giving them the bare minimum. If you're giving them the bare minimum, why would you expect them to give any more? You have got to start pushing empowerment down to other levels. And there is a business case to do this. There is an absolute business, money only, take all the people like happy fluffy stuff out of it. There is a business case to be made for this, because if you take something that a senior vice president is doing right now and you give it to a director who is probably perfectly qualified to do that thing, you're executing it for less money. You're saving the organization money. All right? But you know what else happens when you do this? People start improving quality. You're also going to see a boost in productivity, right? Because when people really start owning things, they take more care with it. They want to do more. They get really excited about it. I've implemented stuff to help empowerment across organizations that I work with. I see productivity increases of 20 to 30%. It's no joke. It doesn't happen right away. It happens over a 6 month to a year of time. But it's a massive productivity increase for the same amount of money. You're also going to see that quality going up because they're taking more care in what they're doing. So you're saving money, you're increasing productivity, you're increasing quality. Why aren't organizations doing this? Because it's really, really hard, right? Because you have people at the senior executive level who, after years of clawing their way up the organization, they finally can make decisions. They had to pay their dues. Everyone underneath them should have to pay theirs. I'll tell you guys what, I don't have a problem getting middle managers to do this. When I'm doing my manager training, I do not have a problem getting people at the mid-level to empower their employees. Here's the biggest objection that I hear. Why should I do it if my boss isn't doing it for me? Biggest objection I hear, but they cannot influence their boss to empower them. They can't go to their boss and say, you know, I'd really do much better work if you were empowering me day to day. It seems self-serving. They can't make that argument. But you guys can. Everyone in this room can make that argument, because when you make that argument from a strategic perspective, it doesn't seem self-serving.